Best season ever!
Hello everybody, Devil's Avocado here, and I'm back to review another episode of Game of Thrones, and that's Season 8, Episode 5. And at this point, I've kind of gone through the stages of grief with this show. Like, I've just accepted that it's going to be bad at this point, and now I'm just in it for the bountiful harvest of memes that we're going to get, and to kind of feed off the collective internet hatred of this show. And it'll fuel me for a while. But I will say, instead of putting a bunch of memes in this video that I've stolen from other people, I'd rather say go to r/freefolk on Reddit, where a lot of these memes are coming from. There's a lot of good quality memes happening in that subreddit, and they've helped ease the pain of this train wreck. So I think the overarching theme of the pitfalls of the season is kind of pacing. And pacing is such an important thing, and especially Game of Thrones, where character motivations drive so much of the plot, not the other way around. The problem with this season is not necessarily the turns that the characters take, but to me, the issue is that they seem to be unearned and they seem to come out of nowhere. And so in turn, it makes me, and I think a lot of other people, feel like these characters are just being assassinated for the sake of subversion of expectations. Like, to me, Jon, Varys, Tyrion, Grey Worm, Dany, Jaime all get fucked by Dan and Dave in this episode. Like, Jon is just some limp dick fucker who is just completely impotent and is just so frustrating to watch. Varys is colluding in plain sight and in earshot, I'm sure, of multiple people. Hey, Jon, want to commit treason? No, okay. And right after Jon said no, Varys should have gotten the fuck out of there, because it's well within Jon's character, because he's the honorable Ned Stark guy, to just be honest with Dany. And if he is that loyal to her, he would have just went and told Dany, hey, Varys is thinking about betraying you. And so Varys, being the quote-unquote smart guy that he is, should have just gotten the fuck out of there right then. Tyrion, being a little snitch, also pretty annoying, and seems pretty short-sighted for his character. He should have at least, I think, given Varys maybe a little bit of warning before completely selling him down the river. Jaime going back to Cersei. Again, I think it would make sense if we just had more time, if we just had time to develop. Same with Mad Queen Dany. I honestly kind of saw this coming, and Mad Queen Dany has been a theory forever, because there's a lot of foreshadowing for it, and I admit that it's there in the show too, to a point, but it would have just been nicer to have it develop over maybe a few more hours, where we actually get to see her internal struggle. And instead, she just like gets angry and kills a bunch of people. To me, it's like Dan and Dave interpreted Mad King Aerys as not being mad as in crazy, but being mad as in just like super pissed. The guy was like a paranoid schizophrenic, basically, and he heard voices telling him to burn stuff. So Dany isn't that type of mad. She's just like super pissed, I guess, and so she's gonna in turn murder a bunch of women and children. And it seems really, really, really out of character to her, because even though she has committed some like pretty horrific shit, it's always been against people who have like fought against her or have made moves to take stuff away from her, whereas she's just massacring women and children and essentially committing genocide in this episode. Lol at all those poor kids named Daenerys and fucking Khaleesi after this episode, because god damn, they'll have to change their names, or maybe they just call them Dany or Kyle or something like that, because oh my god, she is just completely assassinated in this episode. And the issue is that I think this will happen in George's work, but I think it'll be done differently and it'll be earned. We'll get to see her progression into madness, and we'll be able to see this descent of this formerly amazing person into, or this formerly not even amazing, but idealistic person, throwing away her ideals and going into madness. Grey Worm also has like little to no character. besides his characterization through Missandei. And so I guess it kind of made sense. But again, it would have been nice to have some more time to develop him as a character. So when he goes nuts, we can kind of like empathize with him a little bit more or be a little bit more emotionally involved. So I don't know. Oh, and Euron showing up exactly where Jaime is, exactly at that time, is just so fucking contrived. And it's so unbelievable that it breaks all immersion with that episode. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all that he'd show up there, A. B, that he'd even bother trying to kill Jaime. That makes no... If he's like a pirate and kind of a mercenary type character, it makes sense that he just cut his losses and be like, fuck, man. Well, we tried. I'm gonna go fuck off and go be a pirate at other places. But no, we get the most Hollywood fight scene I've seen in a while, where goddamn Jaime gets mortally wounded, but Euron sits there and gloats instead of finishing him off. And of course, Jaime gets to his sword and stabs him. Like, just something I've seen a million times. So contrived. And I don't get Euron looking directly into the fucking camera and being like, I killed Jaime Lannister. Like, to me, it's just so stupid. Like, was he just a Jaime fanboy? Was that him the entire time? Was he that character who was like, my mentor, I've been scrappy and shitty because I'm tired of living in your shadow. Is he that guy? Like, what? Why does he care so much about Jaime? He really shouldn't. He really shouldn't give a fuck. Oh, of course, if to sneak in another, I fucked the queen. Just so stupid. Such an awful character. I also hate Clegane Bowl and the entire concept of Clegane Bowl, because the Hound is kind of the quote-unquote the Hound, the persona that he created, is kind of supposed to be dead at this point. Like, he's put that behind him and now he's actively working towards the greater good. But they kind of put his character arc back a few seasons so they can have this stupid fucking fan service. And oh my god, I hated that fight, because I know what's gonna happen. They're just gonna kill each other. And I even knew that before I read the leaks, because it's just so fucking contrived. I'm surprised they didn't do the anime. They both run at each other, slash, and they both stop, look at each other, and then both of them fall. Some stupid shit like that. And oh my god, the amount of times they faked Arya's death. It was just so dumb, and it just kept happening. Like 5 or 6 times. Like 2 times is too many for that. Especially after episode 3. 2 times. Too many fake outs. Show us someone else. Fake out the Arya death thing once, come back at the end of the episode. Like, show Davos, who grew up in Flea Bottom, saving people and, kind of working against his own forces. That would have been actually really, really, really interesting. And the fucking stupid pale horse with the rider whose name is Death, biblical reference at the end, is so on the nose. Oh my god, Dan and Dave, we get it. She's gonna probably kill Dany, or Jon's gonna kill Dany. But either way, that biblical reference is so cliched. I mean, it's biblical. It's a reference 2,000 fucking years old at this point. Can we do something new? Can we reference something else? Otherwise, yeah, I've found this episode super entertaining, but really, really just so stupid. Now Dragonfire just fucking explodes everything it touches. Oh, except when it's convenient. Like, Varys gets completely burned to the point where there's no sound, but then the Golden Company gets lit up and they're all screaming, and people in the streets are screaming when they're on fire. It really seems it's just back and forth on whether or not Dragonfire completely rips people up and completely burns them to a crisp right away, or if they get burned slowly. I guess you could say it's they're not in the direct stream of fire. Maybe they just get collateral damage from the fire. I don't know. I guess that excuse would make some sort of sense to me. But yeah, I think that's it. All I really wanted to talk about. Again, I thought the production was great. I thought Emilia Clarke's acting was fantastic. It has been this entire season. I really feel bad for everyone else involved, because it seems like they're really giving it their all in these episodes. But the writing is just terrible, because the rest of it is actually really good, but it's the writing and the pacing that's just fucking horrendous, where to the point where all these character turns and changes feel unearned. And the thing is, I'm fine with the unhappy ending. I expected it, but it just needed to be earned instead of, oh, 2 episodes later, Dany's pissed and she's angry. She's the Mad Queen now. She hates bells. It's just such a fucking meme now. It's so stupid. But yeah, thanks to anybody who watched. Like and subscribe. I don't know. I'm currently having PC issues, so I don't know how many more videos I'll be doing. If anybody knows how to fix the 100% disk issue on PC, please let me know. I've tried pretty much everything at this point. But yeah, I might make a review of the next episode and kind of do a recap of the season as a whole and what I thought about it. But my PC will probably be in the shop this week, so that'll probably have to come later. Anyways, catch you guys later.